Hey everybody, Ismail Kolia, aka Asia Realtor, reporting from my hometown of Hathuran. I got my last video of Hathuran, got so much interaction and so much love, and I also got a lot of requests to create another video featuring this Masjid mosque in Hathuran. So let's go ahead and do that. The name of this masjid is Nagina Masjid, which roughly, Nagina translates roughly to like a gem, a gemstone. This masjid was built in 1920. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. I got a personal tour a couple of days ago by the trustee of this mosque, Mr. Hanif Starwala, and he gave me a lot of insight about the architecture and the construction of this mosque, and that is going to be topic of our conversation today. So this is a look back. These benches are filled with people after prayers. They're mingling, they're interacting, they're catching up, they're seeing their friends that they haven't seen maybe for a few hours or a day or so. Okay, as we enter, let's go ahead and take a look at the entrance. We have a couple of boards here. These boards are used for announcements, but also spiritual messages, motivational messages, and so forth. We have our electronics here and electrics here. We have shoe boxes and further notices as we continue. This used to be a place where water used to be kept here. Those who are older and have been coming to this mosque for a few decades in the past, I remember clay pots, matke, used to be here, holding water, and there would be cups to drink from. Those days are gone, and we'll look at water in another place. But here's a look back. Now, one of the things that Mr. Hanif Starwala pointed out to me, which I want all of you to point, is in this entire masjid, there are hardly any walls. The entire mosque has very few, if any, walls. It's all built on arches, and there are three types of arches, as we will discover throughout our tour today. The first one is this one. It has these decorative designs, and these are peacock arches. It has the shape of a peacock's wings. So this is called the peacock arch. Could also be called the Persian arch. And then we have these pointed arches, has a sharp point. Those are called Gothic arches. And then we have the very round arch, and those are the Roman arches. So this is quite a detail that I never thought about. All right. Now, as we continue this way, you will see the beautiful tiled floors. They're shining and clean. Above, we have fans, which come in handy in the hot weather. And if you'll remember from just a few moments ago, we have arches all around. And these round arches, if you remember, are called the Roman arches. On this side of the hall, we have those same Roman arches, and the doors have stained glass in them. The stained glass used to be in these windows as well, but unfortunately over time, due to wear and tear, those glasses break, and then due to lack of workmanship or priorities or budget, those stained glasses were replaced with these plexiglass. Nonetheless, it is very cool in here. It is very calm in here. Look at this open hall here. The roof above was not the original roof. That did not exist. It used to be completely open. However, a couple of decades ago, that was added. This open space here used to have a pool of water where people would make wazoo, or wash themselves, hands and feet and face and so forth, before prayer. The only wall, just about the only wall you will see in this mosque, in this masjid, is maybe this one. And even here we had a peacock arch here as well. But over time this wall was added. In this room we have our loudspeaker equipment. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the train as it passes. It is morning time. We're looking east, and that is the direction of the sunrise. This is going north towards Bharuch, Ahmedabad, and then further north to Delhi and so forth. We will take a look at the directions when we go upstairs. All right, as we continue our tour, a few steps down, and then we have more seating area here. These seating areas are full of congregants, namazi, people who came to pray. Afterwards, they sit here, chit chat, they catch up with their friends, they see people they haven't seen for a while, and so forth. Continuing onwards, we have another pool of water here. In Gujarati, in Urdu, we call it hauz. In Arabic also, we have the word hauz-e-Kawthar. In any case, the entire mosque, underneath the mosque, there is this pool of water. As you can see, the entire length and width of the mosque, underneath it is a pool to store water. And this water comes from rain. So when rain comes down, water is kept here. This pool is 7 feet deep, and then beyond the 7 feet deep, there's a sub-basement, and in the sub-basement. So continuing our conversation, maybe not so long ago, we used to dip our hand in the water and make wazoo, wash our hands, feet, arms, faces. But due to perhaps health concerns, now water faucets have been added, and we have seating here. And as we can see, we have additional washing facilities here, along with towels to dry oneself with. This hallway is one of my favorites. It's very calm and peaceful and bright and clean. As you'll notice, the arches are not just in the construction and the architecture of the masjid, but also in decorative pieces such as this grill work. You can see the arch here. We have a Gothic arch here, but if you combine the two, then we have the Roman arch here. So we have a Roman arch with two Gothic arches in between. So that is the beauty of it. On the other side, on the northern side of the mosque, we have one of our man-made ponds, tarao as we call it. This tarao or pond is used to house rainwater. In India, we have 3 seasons: summer, winter, and monsoon. So it rains for 4 months, and then it does not rain for the next 8 months. So you have to have a plan for those 8 months. So water from rain is kept in one of 2 taraos in this village of Hathuran. And this is one of the taraos. On the northern side of the tarao is our private school. This is a private school created by the people of the town for the kids. We do have a government-run school as well, but we also have a private school. All right, continuing further, we have more shoe rack here. We have if you will, the front side or the back side of the mosque. This hallway is barely used. We'll go inside the masjid in a minute, but this is the back side of the mimbar. All right, and then to the this will be the west side. This will be the west of the mosque. We have our Islamic madrasa. This is where kids learn to read Quran and Islamic books and so forth, and perhaps you can hear them on the video that classes are going on right now. All right, this goes to the roof. Let's go ahead and continue our tour downstairs. This is the other entry or exit of this mosque. Right, so let's take a look at the outside for a quick second, and there's a nice little store for the kids to buy candy and chips. All right, if we can take a peek in here. This goes to the sub-basement where there's another pool of water, and that pool is 14 feet in depth. All right, so a lot of water harvesting. And if you remember from the beginning of this video, this mosque is 102 years old. So to think that our elders were thinking of water harvesting 102 years ago, and they built that into their planning of this mosque is incredible. A few more towels here to dry yourself with after one washes themselves. Let's go ahead and go inside the main hall and take a look. Bismillah. Right foot first. So right foot first. And here we go. We have the main hall of the masjid. It is quiet, and it is serene and peaceful, and it is bright, and the stained glass windows really add a charm to it. Over the years, renovations and new additions have been done. So as you can see, these glass doors, stained glass doors, are the originals, but then these plexiglasses have been added over the years for more daily usage and to keep the cold air in when ACs are running. Ductless air conditioning has been added over the years to provide comfort to the congregants. Again, a lot of detail. If you remember from our conversation earlier, this is the peacock arch, and then there are the Roman arches all around. This is the mimbar, where the imam goes and gives a sermon, a speech, and this is the mihrab, where the imam leads the prayer. These are the prayer times for today. Okay. Books and Quran are held here. These are Quran stands. This is a little bit more modern or more easily made. These are a little bit more intricate and require more workmanship. Made from a single piece of wood, carved by hand. And then these are a little bit more easier to make and of course easier to buy. And there's the original grill work on the windows. New additions have been done over the years. These marbles have been added to prevent paint from chipping. This roof is also new. This is not the original roof. This is a reinforced concrete roof that was added over the past decade or two. So keeping the original structure and original walls around, concrete beams were added and concrete roofs were added to prolong the life of this masjid and so forth. All right. Now, a couple of facts that are worth mentioning about this masjid. it suffered a couple of catastrophes over the last 100 years. More recently, number one, in 2001, there was an earthquake in this part of India which affected this mosque's stability, especially the very, very tall minaret that we are about to go see. So in 2001, an earthquake occurred, and this minaret was definitely and severely affected, and the townspeople took steps afterwards to make sure that it is strong enough to stand, and they took steps to continue to make it stand, such as these metal beams and so forth. This spiral staircase that you see is not original. There used to be a wooden staircase with metal railing. I remember it very clearly, and I remember climbing it, and it was it was quite a scary experience. That has been removed, and this concrete steps have been added over the last couple of decades. The other catastrophe that affected this mosque, not so severely as the earthquake, but was the lightning hit in 2005. So lightning hit the masjid in 2005, and the electrical systems of the masjid were impacted, but not as severely damaged as the earthquake of 2001. So this roof that we are walking on is a new roof. It's a concrete roof. It used to be perhaps a wood and metal roof in the original construction, but it has been replaced over the years. All right, this is the rooftop view. We are looking north towards Bharuch, Ahmedabad, and then New Delhi. In that direction, we have one of the taraws, man-made ponds here, and then we have our private school here, followed by farms and so forth. This way we are looking east. We have our Western Railway running through the town. And then beyond in this direction, east, we would find Calcutta and Bangladesh and so forth. This direction, we're looking at south, so we're talking about Surat as the next big city, and then beyond that would be Mumbai and so forth. There's the railway crossing bridge that has been recently added in the town of Hathuran, so we are going to be removing the land railroad crossing to prevent accidents and speed up rail traffic as well as car traffic, and so a bridge has been added. So this is looking south, and then looking this way, we're looking west. So looking west, we have our Islamic madrasa, which is the Islamic school for kids to learn Quran and books of Islam. And further west, we would have Pakistan, we would have the Arabian Gulf, we would have the Middle East, and then of course we would have America going west. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the minarets. So these are the small minarets, and as you can see, even in the minarets, we have our peacock arches, and then we have our Roman arches. Roman arches that are the round ones, and then the peacock arches have the design of the peacock's entire tail. You can see the excitement of the kids. They're happy to get out of school, madrasa, and they're happy to be buying their chips and candies. All right, as we look at the big minaret, again we see Gothic arches. Those are the pointed arches, okay? But it's the combination of the three types of different arches. So we have Gothic arches on two sides, the west side and the east side, and then we have the peacock arches on the south side and the north side. All right, let's continue our journey and let's go to the top of this minaret. Even though the old wooden staircase has been replaced with this more concrete one, it is still a pretty scary experience for me. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. I apologize that this video is long, but the amount of details that this masjid has to offer, one cannot condense it into just a few minutes. All right, now that we are on level 2 of this minaret, we are looking at the 4 sides, and all 4 sides have Gothic arches, but above the Gothic arches we have the Roman arch. And what is in those circles? Those are clocks. So yes, this masjid does provide as a clock tower for the town. Let's continue our climb to further up, and as we go up, it is a very scary experience for me. All right, give me a second. We gotta navigate through this. Oof. It is, what do you see on the floor? This is all pigeon poop. All right, lots of pigeons and lots of pigeon poop. Oof, we are at the top, and this is the dome of the masjid's minaret. Above the dome, we have a light, and that light is used at the time of Ramadan to mark iftar time to break the fast. So now we're at the top level of this minaret of Masjid Nagina in Hathuran, and we are looking in all directions, and it's a little bit of a different type of arch. This is not one of the 3 types of arches that we discussed throughout this tour, so I will have to look into what do you call this arch, but nonetheless we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's an octagon with 8 directions, 8 corners, 8 sides to this top level of the minaret. There are 8 arches here. All right, so that makes it an octagon. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the town. Here we go. All right, so we are looking south. If you remember, we're looking towards Surat and Mumbai. If you look further here, that is the other tarao in the village of Hathuran. All right, so that's the other second tarao for Hathuran. Okay, now as we look this way, we can see the train rolling by. We're looking east where the sun rises. It is morning time. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. And there's another train coming from the other direction. Let's go ahead and take a look at this side. We are looking north towards Bharuch and New Delhi. And we're looking at the roof of the masjid. And we're looking at the other tarao. And lastly, let's go ahead and take a look towards west. All right, kids are going back into their madrasas. It's time to go back. Recess is over. And then on this side, we can see 2 water tanks in the village of Hathuran. All right, so that sort of completes the tour. Let's take a look down to see what we see. All right, let's go downstairs and I will give you one more look at the masjid from downstairs. As you can see, the pigeons like to make their home wherever they can find a spot. Oh, these are the speakers, the loudspeakers for the azan to call people to come pray 5 times a day. We want to make sure that we thank all the people who are taking care of this masjid, either with their time or with their money or with their dua and prayers. So we appreciate everybody who is taking care of this masjid in our village. All right, looks like these bags are full of pigeon poop, and I'm gonna have to step on it to get down. All right, one more look. And continuing downwards. This is a solar water heater. So heats the water and provides for hot water for washing before prayers. This building here also belongs to the masjid, provides for housing and so forth. We do have solar panels on top of it. So modern upgrades as society and times change. The town and the town people are also adapting to new ways of living and introducing new systems and technologies, which is great. Here we have our water tank. We have our water well here. Water is pumped out of there these days. Back in the days, people used to bring water up through ropes and buckets, but now, due to upgrades in technology, water is brought up with pumps, and we do have filtration as well. So water is filtered and provided free of charge. So filtered water is provided for people to carry home, whoever wants. And then this is a water tank that is used to store water, and then that water is provided here to wash and so forth. Here is the new drinking water place through the tap as well as through the clay pot. If you remember, there used to be clay pots or matlas over here in this area. I remember it being here maybe 35 years ago. All right, here we have another type of arch, and this is a one last look at the masjid halls before we finish our tour. Assalamualaikum. All right, and that, folks, is the tour of Nagina Masjid in the village of Hathuran in the state of Gujarat in India. This is Ismail Kolya, your realtor. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Please make dua for me, pray for me, as well as pray for the town and the people of the town and the masjid itself. Thank you. Take care.